You know, for over 100 years, fashion photography has followed a pretty simple formula. You capture a moment, and then you spend ages perfecting it. But what if the perfection came first? There is a huge shift happening right now, one that's taking the entire industry from a world of manual, painstaking craft to one of automated, instant perfection. So, let's break down how this is all going down.
I mean, just think about it. In the classic world of high fashion, the click of the camera was really just the starting gun. From there, elite photo retouchers would take over, spending hours, sometimes even days, not just tweaking the photo, but literally sculpting reality. These people were true digital artists, meticulously fixing every stray hair, perfecting skin texture, and basically painting with light to get that iconic luxury look. It was all about handcrafted precision.
And then AI showed up, and everything changed. What used to be this long, grueling marathon of manual editing, well, now it's a sprint. The whole process has been completely flipped on its head. All that repetitive work that used to eat up entire days can now be done in the time it takes you to go grab a coffee.
And the difference is just staggering. Look at this. For a pretty typical fashion shoot, a manual workflow could easily burn through 16 hours of post-production work. But with an AI-assisted workflow, that drops to around 3 hours. I mean, this isn't a small step up. It's a total demolition of the old way of doing things. So, how is that even possible?
Well, to really understand this revolution, you first have to appreciate what it's replacing. Let's dive into what the art of manual retouching actually looked like.
So here's the thing. The goal was never to look fake. It was to look flawlessly real. This idea of hyperrealism meant that every single edit, every little tweak had to be completely invisible. The final image needed to look like an impossibly perfect photograph, not some digital painting. And to pull that off, it took almost surgical precision and this deep, gut-level understanding of light, skin texture, and, well, people.
One of the key tricks of the trade was a technique called frequency separation. Okay, so think of it this way. It lets a retoucher split an image into 2 layers. One layer is just the texture, the pores, the tiny lines on your skin. The other layer is just the color and the tone. This meant they could smooth out skin color without wiping out the natural skin texture. It's an unbelievably powerful tool, but man, is it time-consuming. And for high-end fashion, this was the absolute standard.
Okay, so that was the old world. Now let's jump into the new one. See, AI didn't just give us a new tool. It created a whole new way of working. And it's all built on 3 main pillars, making things faster, cheaper, and way, way more consistent.
First up, speed. We're not talking a little faster. Studios that are using AI are slashing their editing time by up to 70%. Seriously. Deadlines that used to be a total nightmare are now just routine. You've got entire campaigns being turned around on the same day instead of weeks later.
And of course, when you get that much faster, you also get massive cost savings. By automating all the really labor-intensive stuff, some studios are cutting their post-production costs by as much as 80%. But this isn't just about saving a buck. It means you can put your money and resources toward actual creative ideas instead of just technical grunt work.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. The data totally backs this up. In one survey, more than 3/4 of creative professionals said that AI tools seriously cut down the time they spend on all those boring, repetitive tasks. This is the stuff that used to just drain the clock, and now AI just eats it for lunch.
So how exactly does it do it? Well, it's a monster at tackling the biggest time sinks. Need to remove the background from 1,000 photos? Done. Instantly. Need to automate skin retouching across an entire shoot? No problem. It can fix lighting and exposure issues across hundreds of photos all at once, or apply the exact same color grade with a single click. Every one of these things used to be a slow, manual job, but just automating what we already do, that's just the beginning.
The really wild, most radical shift is what's happening before a photo is even, well, a photo. We are stepping into the age of the image that is simply generated perfectly right from the start.
For decades, you've heard the mantra in photography, right? Don't worry about it. We'll fix it in post. A little wrinkle in the shirt? Fix it in post. A stray hair? Fix it in post. That whole idea is being replaced by a new one. Generate it perfectly. And that right there is a game-changing shift in thinking.
This is what some are calling a zero-post workflow. Basically, there is no post-production. The AI isn't just spitting out a rough draft. It's generating a finished masterpiece. The lighting is already flawless because the AI has been trained on what realistic light looks like. Every single hair is perfectly in place. Even the fabric on the clothes is exactly how you want it, either perfectly smooth or wrinkled in just the right way, all based on a simple text command.
And this is where things get really weird, both ethically and legally. A lot of countries now require brands to label any ad that's been digitally altered. But think about it. If an AI just creates a perfect image from scratch, was there ever an original image to alter in the first place? Technically, no. The image was just born perfect. It completely sidesteps the whole idea of retouching. It's a massive loophole.
So you're probably asking the big question. If AI is doing all this, what's left for the actual people to do? Are artists and retouches just out of a job? Well, not exactly, but their role is definitely evolving, and fast. This is leading to a totally new kind of job, the latent retoucher. Instead of opening up Photoshop to fix an image that's already been taken, this person is guiding the AI as it creates the image. They're the ones defining the aesthetic, tweaking the AI's parameters, and basically acting as a creative director for the algorithm. They're not fixing bad images anymore, they're stopping bad images from ever existing.
And this brings us to a really clear division of labor. Here's how it breaks down. AI is incredible at the repeatable, pattern-based stuff. Anything that requires insane speed and perfect consistency, AI has it covered. But humans? We're still in charge of the stuff that actually matters. The creative intent, the storytelling, the taste, the emotional punch, the why behind an image.
This quote really just nails it. The best creative professionals aren't being replaced by AI, they're being supercharged by it. The tech just clears away all the boring, repetitive work so they can focus on what only a human can do, create meaning. Of course you knew this was coming, right? This incredible new power comes with a pretty steep price. This big shift toward automated perfection is forcing the industry to face some really tough ethical challenges. It hit a few major roadblocks right away. First, there's the problem of bias. If an AI is trained on biased data, it's just going to spit out biased results, often reinforcing really narrow Eurocentric beauty standards. Then you've got a growing trust problem with consumers who are getting more and more skeptical of fake images. And finally, the law is totally scrambling to keep up. As of right now, work that's purely generated by AI can't be copyrighted, which creates a huge legal mess. And that trust issue, it is not a small thing. A recent poll found that 74%, nearly 3 out of every 4 consumers, believe brands should be banned, period. Banned from using AI-generated models. So you have this massive tension between what's efficient for brands and what feels authentic to people. And that leaves us with this big final question. For so long, the whole point of high-end fashion photography was the difficult, expensive, artistic chase for perfection. But now, perfection can be automated in seconds. So, in a world where flawlessness is cheap and easy, what does authenticity even mean? And what's the new value of something that feels truly real?